Well, we have been counting down all week. Tampa Pride, the diversity parade, and of course the street fair happening tomorrow. I am glad we get to talk about it one more time on today's show. And today we are joined by Trevor James. Pride is always such a fun event. In my personal opinion, made even better by a good theme. And that's what's happening this year. Trevor, first off, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about the theme. We are talking about the House of Tampa. Explain what that means and why this is a good theme for this year's Tampa Pride.
Absolutely. So our theme this year, like you mentioned, is the House of Tampa Pride. That theme kind of came to us in two parts. And the first one is, you're seeing a lot of recent publicity and representation of the ballroom community through shows like Pose and Legendary. And those shows are great at the representation part of it, and representation really does matter. However, we wanted to bring a bit more highlighting to that community and also education around it as well. So this year's theme is the House of Tampa Pride. And what that means to us is, like I said, we want to highlight the ballroom community, but also their actions and movement as it relates to the liberation movement. We really, think especially right now, we're in a time where folks can be reminded of the work that was done for us to get to where we are. And this community is largely a part of that movement. You see here Aja LaBeija, who is one of our guest headliners this year. She's currently what we would call walking a ball, and she's doing a category right now which looks like Vogue or performance. And so this is Aja in her natural element at a ball. The person to her right is what's called commentator. And so folks go to these balls and you walk or compete, as many people would know it to be called, but we call it walking a ball. And you walk a ball for prizes and status. And so balls were often thrown in ballrooms, which is where they got their names, but they also popped up in less formal places like subway platforms and restaurants. And at a ball, individuals who are not members of a house may walk independently as a 007. Aja, as I mentioned, her last name is LaBeija, so she is from the House of LaBeija. But if you're not yet a member of a house or still kind of finding your way through, you walk independently as a 007, and sometimes at a ball you'll get approved or get your 10s at a ball, and a housemate come up to you and say, "Hey, we want you in the house. Here's the house members. Come meet the family." And it really is just a warm, welcoming environment. It didn't start off so warm and welcoming. The houses were formed as a need for folks who had been kicked out of their homes to find family. But through that kind of collection of people, they've formed these incredible bonds. Back in the day, they were living together. They were sharing an apartment together. Now, maybe not. Some of them do definitely still live together, but now a house can be more of a formality, kind of a formality in a sense, but it's definitely uniting nonetheless, and we love all of our ballroom families.
Trevor, you did an awesome job explaining a topic that, one, means a lot to the community, but two, of course, can be a little difficult. So good job to you explaining it. And then I also want to take it a step further, because there's even a mini ball. We're giving away tickets because, again, we're so happy to partner with Tampa Pride. Mm-hmm. And I will say, though, in closing, Trevor, one more time, the significance of Tampa Pride, talking about these ballrooms, talking about these houses. I mean, once again, it just shows the message of inclusivity and how everybody is welcome to a really fun day tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. We are so excited.
Well, Trevor, thank you again. We appreciate it. And again, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
And there's the information on your screen. And don't forget, if you can't make it down to Ybor for the Pride Parade, we are actually streaming it live on our streaming services. So be sure to check that out as well, along with going to tampapride.org/store for even more information.